Okay, we are live. Hello, guys. Welcome. Let me just bring up the live stream on this computer in front of me so I can read the comments. Welcome, guys. And tonight's topic, by the way, again to repeat the format of my live streams will be an hour and a half, an hour and a half. And so what I'll try to do is explain everything I need to explain at the very beginning of the video, and then we'll go into the Q&A section right after, and then we'll go on till an hour and a half, which seems to be okay for being able to answer all the questions of the people in here right now. And we don't want to keep it too long because it doesn't transfer over to the library if I make it too long, and then people here also complain they can't watch a replay that's 3 hours long as I've always done it. So hello guys, welcome again, and hold on. Hey you, Shakil Akhtar, I'm in it, and Termite Puzzles, James Mason, Great Gold Jellyfish, Red Graphics, Iron Fist, Strife Injustice, Eddie Ordaz, Google user Jevin Sims, and I'm sure I'm missing a few more here. Michael Mitchell Valentino, Locutus of Borg. Hello guys. So I may not be able to look at the comments immediately here, but I'll get back to it, as I finish what I'm going to be talking about, and then you can start asking your questions. You may want to hold off on any questions that I'm not going to see until I get to the Q&A section. You can of course comment to each other here, but just I may not be able to read it while I'm trying to explain what I'm trying to explain. So my topic tonight is if you should believe me. I give you a lot of advice. I talk about some technical issues. And somebody left a comment on one of the videos saying, well, I need proof of Wi-Fi triangulation. Basically saying, I don't believe you. Until I see proof, I don't believe you. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. Hello, Jay. Yas Child. Oh, Nerdy. William Baird, Striking Horse, Eso Echo. So should you believe me? Now, some of you already follow me from Periscope for the last 5 years and know what my street creds are, but some of you are new. There's a lot of new people on my channel. Because of the Joe Rogan thing, there's a lot of new users here. So a lot of you don't know much about me. You watch my videos and there's a lot of stuff on there, but you don't really know the backdrop of why you should believe what I said. I made a video introducing myself last week, and yet people are saying, well, why should we trust what you're saying? And let me just say this: if you're actually watching similar tech guys on YouTube, and there aren't that many to talk about what I talk about, but if you see that especially the young ones, the young tech guys on YouTube, mostly they regurgitate what they see and hear, others say. That's not what I do. I don't regurgitate anything. I can't even pronounce it. Regurgitate. I can't even. That's not what I do. Most of what I tell you is based on my own specific research and what I actually know from real life experience. So I don't theorize on Wi-Fi triangulation. I don't theorize on Wi-Fi scanning, Wi-Fi probes. I don't theorize on what they can do to spy on your phone. I actually I do all the research to go figure this out. And when I can't figure it out, I will actually do a test and run some code myself and write some stuff to show you what it is. So I can't believe this guy actually asked me or made a comment on the video saying, well, I need proof of Wi-Fi triangulation. I was like, really? Really? So let's just talk about that for a moment. There's a video on Wi-Fi triangulation. It's actually it's brax.me/ geo, brax.me/geo, and it's a GEO, and it's an actual test to show you Wi-Fi triangulation in action based on code I actually wrote. So it's there. I coded it for you. I coded it for you. So if you don't believe in Wi-Fi triangulation, go run that and see if I can spot your zucking location. And then you tell me, well, I don't believe that's true. Well, if it finds your location, something must be true. Okay, so, try it out and see. Now that program is used for a browser threat test, which is another thing. Again, I don't theorize on this. I actually write the code myself. When I did a hackathon, some years back, I did a hackathon video, which I transferred over to YouTube, but it was actually from Periscope. And like 20,000 people watched it live. And this was live. It's a live event. And I was showing people live how your email can be seen using SMTP port 25. And I was showing that. And some guy actually, tried to troll us, the people on the broadcast, especially me, of course, and sent a nudie picture to me in the email that I opened during the broadcast. And then he was trying to show his junk. And, well, guess what? So right online, I identified where he is, and he was still online. He was still watching. And I said, oh, you live in Maryland. And he was like, are you going to hack me? And I had to tell the guy, no, I don't have time to zucking hack you. But it just shows the stupidity of people when they actually think I'm actually kidding here, that I don't know what I'm doing. So, and that was live. That was, I believe, in part 2. Because they don't even know what I was showing them, which was that your email shows your IP address. Now, again, do I have to guess that? Do you have to trust me? You can actually look at the data. Go look and see the video and see that I actually showed you that I can track your IP address from your email, because your email emits your IP address. So a lot of people are like, coming into my channel thinking I'm just telling you a little lie here and story about everything. And I'm going to tell you, ask me anything about anything I talk about, and I will tell you where it came from or what the basis is of that. And, if it's not based on something that I actually have direct experience with, I will use my logic and knowledge of tech to go figure it out and analyze it in a way that I would do if I were to do the same thing. So, for example, one of the reasons I know that, that Apple and Google and so on are doing certain things, Facebook, it's because I think like them. For example, what is Zuck up to? What would Zuck do? So then I think about what they're going to do, and then I theorize all these attacks, and then I use some way of verifying that they in fact are doing that, and most of the time they are. In the case of Facebook, for example, I said, Facebook uses every piece of data they can find, and they're going to store any piece of data they can get on you. And somebody who works at Facebook went on my live stream and actually said that Facebook is now tracking tattoos. They actually have a tattoo database. So if you are in a photo with a tattoo, they actually have a tattoo database, and they can recognize you by a tattoo. Okay, and then simply by I had an incident here where I actually read out the end user license agreement of Facebook live, and I actually didn't review it in advance. I said, let's just go through the end user license agreement of Facebook and in their language, and then I will explain what that means technically, what exactly they're doing. And that's when I discovered live that they were actually taking your MAC addresses of everyone in the network and using that to make relationship maps of anyone using Facebook in your network. And so they can see your network anyplace else. And if your MAC address pops up, they say, oh, I know that phone. That was the same phone over here. It's like a device fingerprint using a MAC address. And that's the kind of thing that is easy to spot if you understand the technology, and then you go and look at the end user license agreement, and you will see that they actually do that. It's stated there. I don't have to guess. They say they do it. MAC addresses, clearly stated. Then they go into some defense about, but we may use it. We actually put it in here because of this. There was some explanation about what they were planning to do with that. And do you believe that? No. The point is they collect the data and it's there. So when people ask me this stuff, it just boggles the mind because, you know, I don't guess on any of this. When I say that there's geolocation tracking, I've been talking about geolocation tracking even on Periscope for the last 5 years. 5 years of this. Where I can show you the articles where when in 2007 when Apple actually bought a company in the geolocation business, and that's what was integrated into the Wi-Fi triangulation of an iPhone, which, by the way, now as it turns out, is code supplied by Skyhook Wireless, and that's the reverse IP lookup company. It's a geolocation database. And they sell that data, and they actually supplied the Wi-Fi triangulation code, which is now embedded in the Qualcomm chip of an iPhone. And somebody will say, well, how do you know that? Did you guess that? Well, Zuck, I don't make the stuff up. I don't make it up. There was actually a video on fucking YouTube with the Skyhook Wireless CEO at the time explaining exactly what I said, and nobody has watched the video. The video probably has 200 views. And I probably, make up, 20 of those watches. So nobody watched the video, but, you don't know what to search for. I found it because I was looking for Skyhook Wireless and all the little things they do. So I found out, and then I told you. Another case here is when someone, actually, let me talk about another specific here. One of the most dangerous companies on the internet before, and I say before because something happened, and the company in question is called Symantec. I used to call them Romantec, okay? And Symantec used to be, I didn't want to use their name before because I got threatened by some corporate party, and I don't know if it was them or not, but somebody threatened me, and the threat was specifically along the lines that they have to do damage control based on what I say. And the only company I was talking about at the time was Symantec. Symantec was, initially just into antivirus. Then they bought VeriSign, the certificate company on the internet. And then, so all of the HTTPS certificates were actually issued by VeriSign, and Symantec bought that. Then they bought Blue Coat Systems, which, if you don't know what Blue Coat Systems is, it's a spy company. And what they do is put the infrastructure in for both governments and businesses to spy on everyone. So they actually go to a country like Saudi Arabia or whatever, and they say, we'll sell you a system to spy on your population, and that company is Blue Coat Systems. And they do things like break HTTPS. And some of you will say, how do you know you can break HTTPS? Because I can fucking break HTTPS. If I can do it, then obviously it's doable. Okay? So I have an app that actually detects if your HTTPS is being broken. So a lot of this is based on my actual experience. Now, Symantec, when the Blue Coat Systems came into to Symantec, they started to do evil things, because one of the things that Symantec did was to issue fake certificates, and that's what is actually used to power Blue Coat Systems, so they can actually invade your privacy by issuing a fake root certificate. Then a third party then can read all the HTTPS traffic and make you think you're secure, but actually somebody's reading it, such as a government. Okay, I don't think they did the Great Firewall of China, but they did some Middle Eastern countries and some Latin American countries and so on. So that's an example of technology that nobody understands, and I have to be here to explain it to you, and to show you that evil is lurking all around, and without the kind of understanding of how the technology works, this will actually go kind of under the radar, and you're not going to know that they're doing this. So I have to come and explain to you that this is actually happening because they don't care about you. These companies don't care about you. They're not doing this for your benefit. This is why I make the distinction between cybersecurity and privacy, because to a corporation, cybersecurity means using blue coat systems. Privacy means you have no sucking connection with blue coat systems, because that's the way a government or a company can spy on its employees and the people around it. So my knowledge is based on actual experience. And guys, I don't need to tell you how many years I've been doing this. It just ages me. So I'm not going to tell you how long I've been doing this, but it's been a long time. So I've done everything. So when I tell you something about technology, specifically when I talk about who's spying on your phone, I can even show you the books that where a lot of this information comes from. Or sometimes you have to go understand what's happening at DEF CON or Black Hat or any of this, or duplicate it yourself. So unfortunately, nobody else on YouTube has the capability to do a lot of this. There's a few, and they concentrate on some areas. Like I like Nullbyte. Nullbyte is a very good channel, and he actually duplicates it right in front of you. So that's Hack 5. It's another good one. So these are channels that actually do something, and then they do it based on their own knowledge and experience of what they actually do. Now some just talk. So if they tell you you should use Proton Mail, I'm going to have a different opinion, because I'm actually going to test it and say, no, based on my understanding, I don't need to use Proton Mail. I'll use something else. I use my own server. So I don't listen to people who say you should use this or use that. Somebody will tell me, well, you should use Signal or Telegram. Well, don't jump into these things, because you have to understand that you're giving out a phone number. So then you have to say, well, is that safe? Well, I guess if you're talking to somebody using Signal may not be a bad thing. But if you're talking to somebody you don't know, you just give your phone number, and which they can then dox you on the internet with that phone number, because you probably used it someplace else, and then they'll know who you are. So then you won't be in hiding anymore. You're going to get doxxed. So I don't like those kinds of things where people give blanket solutions, because they're like regurgitating what somebody else says without thinking about it. Everything is different for every person. The solution is wide, and there's a lot of options. It depends. So when I talk about de-Googled phones and what these phones do, again, it's from my own research. I've discovered that the amount of data leaking out from a phone is bigger than anything else. It's easily, 70% of our privacy issues are with the phone. So that's why I say use a de-Googled phone. Okay, so you have to start thinking about, if I say it, I'm not saying it lightly. There's got to be a reason. So don't jump into a conclusion about he's just saying it. He's kind of like the other people on YouTube. So I am not. When I say it's usually well thought out. My style is, guys, is that I actually analyze the situation. I think about being attacked all day. During my free time, when I'm dreaming at night, I say, how would someone attack me? I think about it constantly. In every situation, I'm always thinking, how would someone attack me? When I made my app, Brax Me, I actually theorized, what are the possible ways somebody would attack this? And I thought about it for years, and it took me a long time, and I put in the changes in there. I'm very proud of what it does, because it hasn't been hacked. and it's going to be very difficult to hack it, and I know that. So then I don't worry about it because, it's I already put the thought process into it. So hopefully that just gives you a little bit of background to the guy who asked me, is Wi-Fi triangulation real or not, and you need proof. For goodness sakes, it's based on the Google geolocation API. It's a, go to the website, go to Google, research it. Google geolocation API, which I then applied into the brax.me/geo test. I actually did some hacking tests too to show you how somebody can hack you and insert a file into your computer. I did that in one of the Periscope things, and I made a demo, and I'll show you that all you do is go to a website and it auto downloads something, and for a while you could actually download anything, and they patched that a little bit. So now you got to go through a multi-step process before that can actually hurt you. But it shows you that I thought about it. The other thing that people don't, they take my advice, and I'm crowding a lot of information here, I know. But people, take my advice lightly. For example, I said, don't use a sucking antivirus. Even Mcafee said, should you use Mcafee antivirus? And Mcafee says, hell no. So no, I don't use an antivirus. Antivirus is actually a way to get in your computer. So I don't even use an antivirus. I use Windows Defender, and not because I need to be defended against anything, but because I use it so that when I send email out, I'm not spreading a virus. So it's an anti-spreading thing. It's not necessarily for my own safety, because I have a different procedure for computers. As an example of the many details I put in my videos, is that if you are not the administrator account on the computer, a virus can't do anything. You have to be an administrator. So solution is, I am never the administrator of any account when I'm using my computer. So I only do admin account if I'm going to download and install something. Otherwise, I don't do it. So if somebody forces me to download something, it's not going to do anything. I tell you that one of the biggest ways to hack you is through email. So solution, use a Thunderbird email. It's the only email I will use, because I tested it. I couldn't hack it. I tested all the other ones and I could hack it. Okay? I tested Microsoft Mail, Outlook, Mac Mail, all that. I can hack them. Then I went to Thunderbird, no hacking. Good. Okay? Things like beacon attacks. Some of this I've duplicated and made for myself. Browser threats like browser fingerprinting. I told you, instead of theorizing it, I made my own browser fingerprint program, and so you can test it yourself. So hopefully I'm giving you kind of a background, to what I talk about. And there's a lot of videos there. You don't have to keep asking me on Brax over and over. Just find the videos and get the background there, and then I can just in a live stream explain in a little bit of detail what you don't understand. Okay, so sorry I took a little longer there, but I just want to make sure that I get my point across. And now I will go and answer your questions. I got a dirty sleeve. Shoot. Oh no, it's actually a something. Looks like I thought it was Clorox. Yeah, it looks like I was using it for cleaning on the boat or something. Okay, so let me just start from the top here. Hold on. Boy, there's like so many comments here. I don't know where to start. Okay, so all my Chrome searches are limited to 180 results. Don't care. Wi-Fi triangulation, of course, is real. Thank you. Non-GPS cell phones were able to triangulate for 911 calls. triangulation using cell is not very accurate. They can only put you in like a, at most half square mile, at most. So it's not very accurate. So what they can do is Stingray you. So they can put a Stingray device. They can even put on an aircraft, fly with a Stingray sensor and look for your IMSI. IMSI is your account identifier. So if they know who you are and know your phone, they'll say, well, we're looking for a specific IMSI. They contact the carrier and find the IMSI in question. Then they can scout. They can actually go in the sky, fly a drone, fly an airplane, and search for the IMSI. If the IMSI pops up, then they can drive a car with a closer version of Stingray and then Stingray you there. So that can happen. If you don't think Stingray is real, again, go watch my video on that. I mean, you want some of the source books. I mean, there's a big book on some of the latest stuff on stuff like that. What if I don't have the knowledge, then I'll go read up on it and see what I can find. So some of it's very, very technical. It's like a hacker's compendium kind of book. All my new Android devices are instantly rooted with malware the second I install a new SIM card. No, when you have a SIM card, they write in their own flash memory. They don't need to touch your computer. The hack actually occurs inside the SIM card itself. So that's one of their capabilities. But mostly this is a government thing. It's not a capability of the average hacker. Turn on Wi-Fi to improve location accuracy. That's the reason for that is the Wi-Fi's can track you indoors versus GPS can only track you outdoors. Okay, what about banking apps on your mobile phones? Are those safe? Well, the banks know who you are, so there's nothing to hide really. So, I mean, you're using your bank, so they know you, they know your money. So they just don't want you to cheat them, so they don't like rooted phones. Well, my phones are not rooted. I do not root my phones. They don't have Google services, but they're not rooted. I don't think bank apps normally have an issue with it. Of course, I'm saying that, but some bank might say, well, we don't want you to use de-Googled phones. Well, zuck them. Okay, if that's the case, then bring a computer and do your banking on a computer. Can you explain Zuckbook photo metadata to noobs? Okay, so Zuckbook, every time you take a photo, your phone inserts, this is part of the camera program, your phone takes your GPS data and some of the phone identifiers, serial numbers of the devices, your phone, etc. And then they insert it into a header area on the photo, and that area is called EXIF, EXIF, okay? Now that changed on an iPhone. iPhone uses a different format now, but it's still in there. It just requires a little bit of different mangling that Facebook was able to easily handle. So every photo takes that information and puts it in a photo. So solution is never give your photo program camera any rights to location ever. And it will still get device fingerprinting on there, which will go to Facebook and apps that track that. And of course, there shouldn't be any question. I'm not lying to you here. This is easily verified. I have videos showing EXIF data. I have many discussions of this on Periscope where I actually showed it. So you can pass your photos into Braxme. Braxme will strip out the metadata, and then you can download it back with the metadata stripped out. So you can do that too. Okay, so Zuck and Google are trailblazing Skynet for CCP. Yep. You might be the first person to read it, that EULA. Just disable my Facebook profile. Disabling it doesn't help. You need to go in there and delete the content. Delete the content. Otherwise, they may claim. Now, they don't actually remove the content, but legally, if you delete it, then they're not supposed to ever share it. Now, they'll still have it, but you don't want them to ever share it. I wonder why the riot people don't go after Google and tech spy companies. More DS nowadays than not. What? I don't know what that means. Go work with anonymous makes it different. Cool names. Put a certificate in our Users Explorer and then break SSL. I look at it all. Oh yeah, you can do that, Livendi. Deleting your FB doesn't do anything. It does, because there's a legal thing in there. It's in the EULA that if you inactivate your account, then they can't share it. So yes, Facebook obviously has your data, but legally they can't share it. So you actually take away a legal right. So delete every Facebook content you can delete. Okay, you could start a tech cult? No. If your data is being collected to be sold, couldn't we argue that human data has intrinsic value, in which case we can argue they must pay us money for our data? Well, let's try that argument. If you pay them, they care for you. They want your jelly. Sometimes internet should not take that time to relax. Will you get Neuralink? Is that the Neuralink? Is that the Elon Musk thing? Are a non-believer of triangulation? You can fix ugly, but never mind. Not going to criticize the guy. Okay. How do we defend against malicious certificates? I have an app that actually detects if somebody is using a malicious certificate, but you can install. You can do certificate checks. Let's see if I think I have videos on that. I think, yeah, I have a video on that. HTTPS. Go watch that video. HTTPS. How, you're being spied on HTTPS. Go watch that video. That's an old video now, but go watch that video. I have so many videos. There's so many old ones, it's buried on there. I mean, there's so much stuff. And there are thousands of videos on Periscope. They're just not indexed. Use the Google phone and you're out of their radar to an extent, yes, but not if you use Facebook. Not if you use Facebook. Is there an option to use satellite phone? Don't think about a satellite phone. Satellite phones are easy to track. All they have to do, a 3-letter agency can just plug into the office of IMSAT or whatever in San Diego and listen to all the traffic. It all comes in one single trunk. So no. Satellite phones are great if you're in a boat and you need access. Otherwise, it's not any safer. Is it possible to change MAC address or IP address? Yes, with a VPN. MAC address is a different issue. MAC address does not cross the internet. Do you know about the new Mcafee ghost stuff? No. There's Symantec ghost. Internet people should have the right to disappear. Well, you would think. Is it possible to find somebody's location if they use Facebook app for Android? Facebook can. I can find out a lot of information from your Facebook. Yes, indirectly. But I can find out a lot of stuff. You cannot turn off privacy settings. You cannot lock down privacy settings on Facebook. If you're putting it on Facebook, I can find it. Audio seems quiet on my end. Wow, we're way deep into the broadcast for that. Somebody just gave a, hold on. Somebody just gave a super chat, but I'm not there yet. What do you think about super minimal browsers? Like, nah, you don't need that. You need multiple browsers. Watch my browser thread video. Multiple browsers, not a single browser. I told you that. Browser isolation by task. Multiple browsers. Is it possible for a law enforcement person to hack into smartphones? FBI can. 3-letters can. Why are gadgets that haven't been updated generally easier to jailbreak, unlock, or hack? Because they're not trying to stop you from doing it. Is it possible to build a Stingray? Yes, I can build a Stingray. I can build in fact, there's a lot of source code ready for that. 3G Stingray. Maybe difficult to build LTE Stingray. But 3G Stingray you can build. Need a good IMSI catch or Snoop alert program too. You should buy FSF laptop for only banking and IRD stuff, nothing else. I'm not too worried about laptops. You can secure a laptop. Some of you are asking me, do I need to worry about a MAC address for a laptop? No. A laptop MAC address means nothing. Don't worry about a laptop MAC address. A phone MAC address, which is mobile, is what you worry about, not a laptop MAC address. Somebody just asked me that just a moment ago. Does the homemade Stingray require a ham license? You're doing something illegal already, so yeah, I guess you don't need a ham license if you're going to do something illegal. It's pointless. Is it possible for a Google or Facebook employee to have access to information? Yes, absolutely, yes. Downright expected. If you work for these companies, someone can go in there, or somebody from outside can go to their contact inside Apple and Google and Microsoft and say, can you search for this information inside their database? Yes, of course. Let me give you a specific example. Thank you, Dizzy Spider 45. I didn't get to that yet. You know, when I worked in the medical field, obviously I can look up, you know, people with diseases and famous people and so on. I could see their problems. You know, I had clients in Beverly Hills, and I could see, oh, I know these movie stars, and you know, it's against the law, but doesn't stop you from being able to look at it. As long as I don't tell you who it is, then, you know, then it's as long as I don't identify a party, then I'm okay. What about SMS messages from banks, like OTP card transactions? How secure? You can't secure SMS messages, but most SMS messages don't have, you know, significant data. Thank you, Yas Child. Is something better if you use a Google phone for apps and a feature phone just for the SIM card? I don't think that's necessary, because you can just insert different SIM cards into one phone. The reason Facebook, Twitter buttons were added to nearly all web pages was to track those not using the apps. Well, they're using it to track. That's what those buttons are. Yes, Dizzy Spider. What do you think of IBM Bezos telling government no more facial recognition until police shape up? Too much power to detect CEO Zuckers. Bezos saying that? Well, Ring is Zucking spying on you and doing facial recognition. Don't buy Zucking Ring. Do not. Besides, I can hack Ring easily. It's so easy to hack Ring. It's Wi-Fi. I can just stop Ring. You know, I make my own cameras. I don't have this in stock, so I gotta make more. But I make my own cameras because I don't. It's actually not assembled, but I make my own cameras because I don't trust Ring. So I make my own cameras with no internet access. What do you think of Starlink? I don't know what Starlink is. What a pleasant personality. Well, thank you. ESO, what do you think of the? I don't expect an answer. They've used its COVID. Yes, Gariety. Yes. Have you done a video on email client? I have many videos on emails. Many videos. So go watch that. I talk about the email hackathon. I talk about Thunderbird. How can it be legal? Please 6 dB louder. Thank you. I'm already zucking, you know, I'm in the yellow zone. So if I go any louder here. While your thoughts on someone becoming a privacy officer. Really? You think corporations care about that? They don't. Can you still use a GPS with a Google phone? Yes, but you have to give permission. On a Google phone, you need permission. So you can't do anything without permission. So all of the stuff that Google does without permission, that's gone. Everything else left requires permission. So you can use Waze, but when I'm not using Waze, I'm going to run NetGuard to stop it from doing things without my permission or kill the app. Wouldn't Win 10 be ideal for misinfo OPSEC? You can use Win 10, Linux, whatever. Obviously, Linux is safer, but with the proper setup, even Windows 10 can be okay. It's you know, I use Windows 10 and Linux. So my Linux computer was out of action for a couple of months here. Is it possible for ISP employees to look into our smartphone data? Obviously, yes. Obviously, yes. Okay, what do you think about the Facebook malware for Tails OS? What do you think about the Facebook malware for Tails? I actually don't know what that is. Starlink is the what? From Elon's satellite. Okay, I don't Oh, that's his satellite. That's what he calls it. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, so I caught up. If I missed anything here, because I'm trying to respond very very fast. If I missed something, please type the question again. So I couldn't believe I actually went through that, like a million questions. There's so many of them. Okay, and I see that there's hundreds of you that have been in the broadcast, and 62 of you have hit the like button. And it would be great if you hit the like button, because the algorithm then says, oh, maybe we should support this guy and support the channel and promote my content. So, hello, Starlight. How are you doing, my friend? How does the standard police use facial recognition against us? Very easy. Now, especially in LA, they have cameras everywhere, street corners. So people driving to the protest, they actually don't know this. But as they're driving through the expected protest area, then all of the cameras, and they have license plate logs, they have face logs, and then they can do the location triangulation on the actual phones themselves. And they don't even know that a third party is collecting this data for the Los Angeles Police Department by the name of Palantir. That's the name of the company, Palantir. Palantir is being used for pre-crime. There's articles in the LA Times on this. I'm not making this up. Palantir is a contract with the LAPD to track certain individuals, especially gang people or suspected gang people, and they actually use it to track people who even get close to those who are in gangs without being in a gang. So they actually get harassed just from maybe having a relative in a gang. So that's just an example of the stuff that actually happens. So people go to these protests and think, well, they can't even stop a riot, so what do they care about me? And guys, there's no timeline here. A third party can collect the data and hand it over to law enforcement a year from now. There's no timeline. They can identify anyone that's been in the protest a year from now. What's the rush? If all they want to do is just destroy your life, then what the suck? It doesn't matter. And some of you are protesting on one side or the other. There's two sides to these protests here, and somebody actually asked me from both sides. And so the answer is, don't bring your zucking phone or turn your zucking phone off. What do you think? If you watch my videos, what do you think? They don't have a way of tracking you, and you're going to say, well, nothing happened so far to the people in the protest. Yeah. So now they have data on you. I wonder, you apply for employment at some point in the future, and somebody will have a record. Well, you were in these protests, and the employer said, well, I'm not sure I'd like to hire you then. So it can impact on your life later on. You think there's free speech everywhere, and it's really not that kind of world. So that data can be deadly, and there's actually no law that stops them from collecting that data, especially when a third party collects it for you. So people are paying Palantir to collect this data. It's a mercenary data firm. They want the data about what you were doing during the protest. They want that data. They can sell that data. They can say, oh, we're going to isolate these particular individuals and go attack them. Hello, Mcafee. Thank you. By the way, Mcafee, I found out that shipping to India was stopped by India. It was India that stopped shipping. It was actually the country decided not to take mail from the U.S. So just so you know that, it was not, you were right, actually. It was India that stopped receiving mail from the U.S., not the U.S. So there's no shipping. India is one of the countries I cannot ship to. Anybody notice daily updates for YouTube, Signal, Twitter, WhatsApp, Android system, WebView, etc. Trying to make evidence tough to put out, easy to censor. Twitter with 90K tweets. I've been telling people to take their SIM cards out while at the protest, but think I'm overreacting. Well, let them think that. For those of you who follow me, take off your sucking SIM cards or turn off your phone. Taking off the SIM card is good. That'll do it. Take out the SIM card so you can still play a game. Take off the SIM cards, fine. Is there a video on how to build Stingray? No. They're but there's open source. You want to you if you have a ham license and you have a device like Blade RF, which I have, or what is it? Hack. What's the name of the device? Hack RF. Then you can build your own Stingray. But Blade RF is a transceiver that is best for that. So there's actually videos. Yeah, there's videos on it. Follow the Danish hacker. He's able to do certain things, and I want to try as well. And yeah, Peter loves your data. Who's Peter? I've just started watching you today. Much of what you discuss resonates for. Thank you, Mala Fide. Justice for Mickey Leaks. We're pulling for you, brother. Nice stand. Yes, I've been doing it. Been on the boat. I'm going to be on the boat tomorrow. I need to relax, guys. I'm overstressed. I'm doing so much here. And, there's kind of a limit. So sometimes, I can't talk to all of you, even on Braxme. I cannot talk to, I'm getting hundreds and hundreds of messages. And it's getting hard now to do that, to keep track of it. They're shipping again now. Not to India. India is still blocked as of yesterday. It's using a virtual credit card number for each online purchase, the safest way to shop online. Actually, I would say use PayPal. Sorry. PayPal, some of you don't like PayPal. I don't really understand the logic here because PayPal hides your credit card number. So nobody else sees your credit card number but PayPal. So and plus there's a little bit of insurance. There are some companies that do virtual credit card numbers, but I'm not sure what the actual benefit is because the credit card companies or the privacy company doing the virtual credit card has your history anyway. So it's not like it's different than PayPal. PayPal is your history. That privacy company has your data. But I like that virtual credit card. It's something that if I didn't have a PayPal and for use in other purposes, I would speak for that company if they want me to sponsor them. I know what you're talking about. I actually, I like the idea. I do crypto more, but I like the idea. Watch as we wave to them. Multiple SIM cards. Yes, multiple SIM cards for different purposes. How can we take out software SIMs from SIMless phones? Dump the SIMless phone. Jellyfish, dump the SIMless phone. Don't use Zucking Sprint. Don't use Zucking Verizon without a SIM card. No, dump the Zucking phone. That's all I can tell you. It takes out an option. It takes out an option. I don't want it. What is your view on the opposing side of privacy, mass disinformation? I already have that topic covered. There's several videos on disinformation. Disinformation is the other way of defense. You need to do both. So a de-Googled phone is not hiding information. It's disinformation. A de-Googled phone is actually disinformation. You do online classes. I don't have time for that. But back in the day, I used to teach doctors. So I sold medical systems and I designed medical systems, and I would teach doctors, and we would discuss things in seminars constantly. So I did that long time ago. Is there a video on how to build a home Stingray? No. There is, but they're not going to tell you how to build it. You have to learn how to build it yourself. Please do online classes. I don't have time. India shipping out. Not as of today. Not as of yesterday. I'll check today, but as of yesterday, no. Do you need an employee? I need to relax. I hope you have fun on the boat. Get smarty, not from us to India. Oh, I see. From India to us. Do Tails and Tor anonymize Facebook and Twitter account? No. Anonymize for whom? You're using your real name on Facebook. How do you anonymize anything? What is the point of using Tor if you're going to go to Facebook and identify what it is you're doing with your real name on there? That doesn't make any sense. Monero is the best option for it could be, but I prefer mixing it up with different cryptos. Will you be doing an interview with John Mcafee? I already did an interview with John Mcafee. It's already discussed in another video, and I wrote an article about it. Why wouldn't PayPal sell your data? Laws. There are laws against that. And with financial and credit cards, there are laws that prevent that kind of data sharing. So yes, you can already go. PayPal doesn't have any data that your credit card doesn't know. So your credit card company has the data, the credit companies. So they already have the data. So yes, somebody can buy that data. So don't worry about PayPal. It's too late. Somebody else has it. Use a Faraday mask. My grandma has an amazing mask. Amen. Make grandma make a mask. Make me a mask too. Is Hack RF a good platform for playing with software-defined radio? I prefer Blade RF, more advanced device. There's Kelp. Your dumb phone series answers many of the questions. Thank you. Bitwarden any good? I don't I don't recommend or not recommend any of that. I use the open source one, KeyPass, but I used to use LastPass. Some of you like Bitwarden, they're mostly good, but frankly, it's just a matter of trust. I trust I trust the open source once more. Will you be doing a new Pint phone review? Yes. When I'm waiting for some bugs to get solved before I get back into spending much time on a Pint phone. I want the power saving to get fixed. Why build when you can buy one? What? Stingray? You can't buy a Stingray. You crazy? Is there a way to make Bitcoin anonymous? Yes, that's in another video. Crypto anonymous video. I already have one. It uses a new crypto called PRV, and then you can hide your BTC. Okay, so BTC. I have BTC. I'm still on BTC. I don't know if this is the right place, but I would really like to know if you think that Graphene OS can work on the Pine phone. No. Ubuntu Touch, really secure? Yes. What privacy rumors? Ubuntu Touch can't do much of anything. It's open source. I've changed the source on Ubuntu Touch myself. I can access the source code. I didn't like the behavior of something. I went in there and made a change. So you can look at the source code. So no, it's not spying on you. It's not spying on you. Unfortunately, I can't install Ubuntu Touch on a Nexus 5 because I can't buy Nexus 5s anymore. So we're kind of out of that. We have to go de-Google for now because Nexus 5s cannot be bought and the Pine phone is not ready yet. So Pine phone may be ready soon, but not as of today, not yet. So if you're going to buy Pine phone, you're not going to be able to use it as a daily driver yet. So you're going to have to wait a little bit. DuckDuckGo or Tor? What does that mean? Sharing is not caring. What the Google phone allows you to upgrade to the highest amount of gigabytes. What does that matter? Don't put zucking data on your phone. Do not put data on your phone. If you're going to put all your naked photos on a phone, rethink that. I don't, a G7 has 64 gigabytes, 64 gigabytes for a G7. What am I going to use that for? Am I going to keep my photos in there permanently? No, don't do that. Thank you, Dizzy Spider. Okay. Can a jailbroken phone that spoof your location fool a Stingray? You cannot fool a Stingray because the activity is in the baseband modem and the SIM card, independent of the phone OS. Thank you, Starlight, about the Mcafee article. So my company is using artificial intelligence for threats on corporate network. Yes, they do have that. They do that. Yes, it's not good for your privacy, but yes, that's there's They do logic and behavior. It's a kind of a specialized thing, and they track activity that doesn't, conform to, or it conforms to behavior of a hacker, and then they track that. Yeah, that's not a new thing. It's been around a while. Think PayPal hacked in the past few years. Well, I don't know what you're saying because I haven't been hacked. Please don't let him know about my grandma's fake cert. Could you encrypt an RF signal? Yes, you can encrypt an RF signal, but as a ham radio operator, we are not allowed to encrypt anything by law. So we cannot legally encrypt. So you have to be like government. If you're government, you can encrypt. By law, I cannot. When are you going on night? Thanks, Gridy. Okay. Are you on CryptBB? No. I love the knowledge. Thank you. Is a VPN for iOS useless for security? No, of course not. A VPN is always a good thing. I think Bitwarden is open source. Yeah, I don't. If you like it, then use it. It's okay. Is a Ubuntu touch safe? Yes, very. Cloud, yeah. Again, I looked at the source code myself. I analyzed how Ubuntu Touch works in great detail. If you watch my videos, I actually got into the nitty gritty of it, including at the source code level. And that's what I do, guys. I don't just sit here and talk. I'm actually going to dig in to make sure I actually understand it at a very deep level, and I've done it. Is it worth investing in crypto? YouTube doesn't like anyone to talk about crypto, so I won't. I use crypto. How much did the Rogan bump your subscribers? The bump was only for a few days. So, yeah, it's like a few days. So, unless you want it to be real, what's your opinion on Cryptex email servers? I don't know about any email servers. I don't know why you would use any kind of email service when I already told you about the danger of an email service. Funny, they cut my phone off and left data on. Do you ship phones to India? Phones cannot be shipped to India as of right now. So when I shipped a phone to India, they sent it back to me. So at the moment, the post office here does not accept phones to India. Reason is apparently India closed their borders to shipping. It was India that stopped the shipping. Okay, is it possible to buy a Stingray by a common person? Go hire a hacker to build it for you. Most of the Stingrays that you can build, and you can watch examples of it on DEF CON, where they actually built some Stingrays using open source. You can use Osmocom BB is one of the apps that you can use, and it's open source, so you can actually do it. But it's only, the examples are only 3G. It doesn't work on LTE. Do you still recommend Start Page? No, I don't recommend Start Page. If you want to use it, you can use it. I don't use it. I use DuckDuckGo right now. I used to use Start Page, but not anymore. Is there a sure-proof way of completely restricting data and Bluetooth? I don't know what that means. What happens to old Face app? I don't know. Thank you, William Nelson. Is it hard to understand why it's so easy to find photos even after they're deleted? Does deleting only remove the file's identifiers or something? If you're talking about deleting it from Facebook, they keep the photos forever, but if you delete it, legally they can't share it. So that just shuts off a door. Does the Pint phone work only on AT&T and T-Mobile because it's GSM SIM only? No, not necessarily. No, I don't think so. But Verizon has a device list. If it's not on the device list, they don't support it. I kind of dislike the way Verizon works. Besides, it takes away the freedom of the SIM card, so suck them. So if I were you, I'd avoid Verizon. Any thoughts about creating your own VPN server at a data center? That's what I do. I have a VPN server at a data center. It's called Bytes VPN in many data centers. That's what I do. That's my, that's partly what's one of the things that sustains this channel. VPNs are not safe now because globalists essentially infected the servers. Leo, I make my own servers. So no one can break into my server because I've secured my own servers. Nobody has the password to get into the server. So that's nonsense. Okay, my internet worked, nothing else did. Metro what? In Rob Store's phones will tell you what they're compatible with. YouTube doesn't like you to talk about, wow, some rebel you've become. Talk about kowtowing to the man. By the way, a lot of people have been taken off YouTube because of talking about cryptocurrencies. Don't know why. I actually don't know why. But since it's not relevant to my topic, that is not my main topic, then I'm just going to not discuss it. I use a VPN with no concern, but I host my own server. That's actually not a good thing. If you host your own server, then you're identified because there's only one party using it, you. When will the spying end, Dizzy? We need to fight back. When the spying doesn't end, we give them disinformation. Okay, no, Zucking Nord. No, for all the VPNs, that's the worst one. Worst one. Go send your data to Lithuania. Go watch Tom Sparks. Tom Sparks reviews. He reviews VPNs, and go listen to him talk about NordVPN. I think they're wanting to sue him because he doesn't talk nicely about NordVPN. Security update: pre-install COVID-19 code. June 1, I thought was in May. Proton is dead. Purism builds privacy security focused laptop. Really? You believe that? It's okay, but YouTube does not allow talking about crypto. They've taken off channels to talk about crypto. Hold on, I'm just trying to keep up with your comments here. Do you trust any of the magic VPN providers? I don't have to trust any other VPN provider because I run bytesvpn.com. Bytes VPN is mine, and as long as you don't use BitTorrent, you're welcome. And it's kind of a hidden away VPN. It's not well publicized, and so people don't know it's a VPN, which is exactly what you want. Okay. Brax, your triangulation is close, but not my house. Probably off by. Yes, Dizzy, you have to read the circumstances for when triangulation works or not. It's very specific in there. For example, if you're in Safari doesn't have the triangulation code. It's on Chrome and Firefox. But my data and IP isn't secure. It's all been done for this year. Is a hardline phone still okay? Do they still have those? What would be your ideal way to set up Thunderbird? Set it up on a computer. That's where you put your emails. If you want to do email on a phone, I would use another email address just for temporarily doing things like that where you don't do a lot of stuff on it. The image searching of DuckDuckGo lacks lots of results if it is compared to Google. Sure, if you're going to do doxing, you may need to use Google, but isolate your actions. They steal all your data, remove Facebook app messages from your phone. Any view on SAT sleeves and an RF bag? Faraday bags. I was trying to get a supplier of Faraday bags from China, and they wouldn't take my credit card. So because I wanted to, resell them, because Faraday bags are important. Do WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger share IP? Yes, of course, but they don't track you by IP address necessarily. They have other ways. If I have Instagram on my phone without it being linked to my email, post photos on it, and am generally inactive, am I still going to get sucked? Yes, you already sucked. Just by having the WhatsApp, they already correlated to your Facebook account. So they know your WhatsApp account and your Facebook account and your Instagram account. What's the best cellular provider for privacy security? And if none, could you hypothetically become your own? I use Ting.com for if you want a little bit of privacy. I use Ting.com, which doesn't really ask for much information about you, and it uses T-Mobile. But Ting.com it just puts another layer on there. Did you think of being superstar Monday? No, I don't want to be a superstar. Is there an easy way to detect if your phone signal is being directed to a Stingray device? Yes, it's in my Stingray video. There's an app. It's buggy, but at least there's some data. AIM-CD program that you can run on your Android, and then you can track towers. And it's kind of a rough thing, but it can tell you, because there are certain patterns to using a Stingray, and it's in my video. If we whisper on landline, can they spy on that without doing paperwork? Yes. It's called voice print. What is your opinion about password vault apps? You should use some. I use KeePass myself, but I used to use LastPass in the past. Some people want to use Bitwarden. I don't know why Bitwarden is suddenly popular now, but back in the day it was LastPass. So I use KeePass. How expensive is it to hack WhatsApp messages? You can't necessarily hack WhatsApp messages. What happens is the metadata is what's so bad, because they know who anyone is talking to because of your identities on Facebook. So by knowing who's talking on WhatsApp, you link to their Facebook account and Instagram account, and you know who's talking to whom, and how long you're talking, and and so on. So there's no secret. If I created a phone with a Raspberry Pi, could I remain anonymous from Google? No, not if you have a baseband modem. Yes, you could be anonymous from Google, but but why would you just get a Pint phone? Raspberry Pi phone would be very expensive. Don't ask me, Kelp. Go watch the people in library who've shifted there from YouTube. The Google Android. What's his name again? Kevin Viper VPN. No. Again, Bytes VPN. Bytes VPN. BYTZ VPN. It's in my description. That's my VPN. I don't want Tom Sparks to review Bytes VPN. I actually don't need to promote my VPN. Let's just keep it quiet. Okay? What do you think of Techlore VPN reviews? Don't care. This is an example of a young guy talking tech. It's not the same thing as I do. They're more popular than I am. There's what's the name of the other guy? That didn't used to show his face. And then there's Techlore. They're not, they're more commercial than me. Mine is a lot of deep detail based on experience. So they're successful though. So they must be doing something right. People must like their content because they're successful. So maybe I'll be successful someday. No, you can't trust the VPN providers. I'm a VPN provider, bytesvpn.com. And at least you have a face attached to it. I don't need it to be popular. Don't really care. I'm okay with just, not having anyone review it. It's better for us to be just doing it quietly, because mostly I'm trying to, use it for the Brax routers. Doesn't having your own VPN service also bring in some bias to promote your own? Don't care. I don't care. I use my VPN because I was zucked by PIA. Okay, so I don't want to get zucked. So I made my own VPN that I use. So if you don't want to use it, you don't have to use it. But I don't want to get zucked by PIA, and I have a video on that. Can you set your location to someplace outside the US if we're using your VPN? No. That's not actually a good thing. NordVPN wants to tell you that you should always be using some foreign country, but actually that's wrong, because there are laws to prevent your data from being stolen here in the US without a warrant. There's no need for a warrant to hack you someplace else. They can't hack you in the US without a warrant. So I can tell you right now, I've not received any warrants on anything. If you wanted to go from Bytes VPN to another VPN, what VPN would you choose? I wouldn't do it. Because, I can call it ABC VPN tomorrow. Yes, thank you, FAC. Orange Man, do you recommend to rent a VPN? No, do not do that. Again, you rent a VPN and you're identifying yourself. You need to join a group. Okay? No, don't do that. It's more costly, and you don't have any privacy. So, because anyone can easily go and check to see who owns the VPS. Don't use free VPNs. No way. Okay. Good thing I've paid the IRS millions. Interesting. Who bought PIA? A bad company bought PIA. So, but my complaint was before they were bought, when in their original form. For example, they block email. So if you're using PIA, email is blocked. And it's like, zuck you. Email is the #1 source of IP addresses. So if you block emails, what the zuck is the purpose of the VPN? Crazy. Why would you zuck and block email? That's what PIA did. Block email. It's crazy stuff. Bytes VPN offers you Pi-hole. I offer you Pi-hole ad blocking. I offer you Tor. There's a Tor option. And I don't block anything. But I do ask that I don't want anybody who uses BitTorrent on it. If you're using BitTorrent, stay away. I don't want you. Okay? BitTorrent is very bad on privacy. So somebody just ran BitTorrent on Brax, and then immediately I get flagged with 30 violations of copyright violations, and my server was shut down by the ISP for copyright violations with timestamps on every event that was what was downloaded, and all these files that were downloaded. And why would you want that? Somebody's always listening on BitTorrent. There's other people listening on the other side, and they're trying to track basically they're downloading stuff, and then if they download it from your server, then you're the bad guy. So they actually actively sit there on BitTorrent and download all day, and whoever they download from, they record the IP address, and then they go flag you. So it's stupid. So I don't, if you're gonna do BitTorrent, go to PIA and Nord. Okay, go to Nord. If you want to download using BitTorrent, go to NordVPN. Don't need that. I want the kind of people to use Bytes VPN to be cool guys that no illegal activity, no scamming, no spamming, and just quiet, because then nobody knows we're a VPN. It actually doesn't register as a VPN. Companies don't actually know we're a VPN. By the way, I've been talking here for an hour and 15 minutes, and only 94 of you have hit the like button. Yet I know hundreds of you have been here. So for those of you who like the content, you may want to hit that like button. And I appreciate that, because the algorithm makes a decision on the videos based on the activity and the comments and the likes. The comments are great, because that is very positive to the algorithm. But when you hit the like button, the algorithm likes that too. So thank you so much. Any good open source VPNs? All VPNs are open source. They by nature that we use all VPNs use the same software. We use OpenVPN. That's the funny part. All VPNs actually use the same software. So whether you use mine or somebody else's, we're always using the same. So what's the difference? The difference is in procedures. The rest is a zucking sales pitch. Zucking sales pitch. My claim to fame is not that I have a VPN. It's because I have a Brax router that uses the VPN, which is more important. The Brax router is very, very important. NordVPN budgets probably 90% of their revenue on marketing. So it's about, most of these big VPNs are all about marketing. I don't need to do the marketing. I don't care if the VPN is growing. It's only a small company. It's okay with me because that's not really my main goal. Okay. Favorite messenger app? Well, obviously BraxMe. On top of BraxMe, I use Signal. Okay. Can I use my cat? I can't catch up to the comments here, and I only have 15 minutes. Do encrypted DNS? No, do not do encrypted DNS. When you do encrypted DNS, privacy DNS, whatever bullshit BS they call it, they're actually tracking your pre-VPN IP address. They actually have your actual IP address is going to Google or Cloudflare or whatever. What the zuck? Do you really want that? Your actual IP address going to the VPN provider with the private DNS? No. When you use a VPN, it's the VPN's IP address that gets recorded. Don't fucking do that. No privacy VPNs. Even a VPN can't actually record, who the request of the DNS is coming from, because it's being routed out. But if you're doing a privacy DNS, then you've just created another database for that. Stupid stuff. Don't use that. Can we? Okay, I have a prototype phone I made with Raspberry Pi with dual screens for under $200. Yeah, then use a Pint phone. It's bulky and expensive. You need to bring in some chatty, fast-talking tech nerds. You are on the best way to getting successful. I'm a nobody. Ask Kelp. I'm a nobody, but that's okay. Sometimes it seems like it would be easier to just give up and join Team Kelp. Thank you, Can't Stop Lying. Is ESET a secure anti-malware app? Don't know what that is. I've heard of it, but not sure what those acronyms means right now. Could you go into detail about what happened between you and the PIA? It's in my video. If you go to bytesvpn.com, the video's there. Basically, that's one of them. They block email. Then captcha codes. Email and block email and captcha codes. I don't need to talk about any other VPNs, guys. I have my own VPN, so I don't want to promote anybody else's VPN. Don't talk about any more VPNs of other people. You can do that in some other guy's channel. I don't typically have questions answered live like this. Thanks for taking. Hey, HDM4000, welcome. Concerned about VPN, check out their partners. That's correct. That's a good. Check out who owns the VPN. In my case, I own the VPN, so you have a face attached to it. Okay. Let's see. Josmo says subs went sky. Well, it went up and then it's back to normal again. Actually, the videos too are, the videos themselves. It's not all about Joe Rogan. It's the videos themselves were doing better. Hold on. I'm starting to think WireGuard is a scam. Why Doom? I haven't heard a single bad thing yet. I'm incognito. Is that okay? Vic buddy. Hey Vic, I found an XL t-shirt. So I do have an XL t-shirt. You asked me about that. I do have an XL t-shirt. I did hit the like button before you even started. I know, Locutus aboard. Thank you. I'm on Vixart is on Bytes VPN. Freaking ass spoof. Van the Man. ExpressVPN. Why do we suck? I don't need this shill here for some other VPN. They seem to. Okay, hold on. Oh, wow. I'm actually catching up to the bottom here. Amazing. Amazing. I'm actually getting closer to the bottom. EFF is very good. EFF.org is a good organization. So yeah, they're out for us. They're very privacy oriented organization. Is Mega and Dropbox cool on Bytes VPN? What does that mean? You can use them, of course. I wouldn't use Dropbox myself, but if you want to use it, you can use it. I don't know what Firefox Lockwise is. I'm doing, let's see. I don't have any claim to fame based on somebody else. You know, I've been doing this for a while. I got to know what? You can make servers from Raspberry Pi, so I guess VPN is possible. Very bad thing. Again, don't run your own VPN. You can run your VPN client, which I sell. A Raspberry Pi is a VPN client, but not a VPN server. Any way to use YouTube and be safe? Yes. Go to Google Activity Controls and tell them to stop tracking you and create a pseudo anonymous identity. Don't use your real name. And use a de-Googled phone. Or use a computer with browser isolation. So the best, you know, I would say, some people have asked me why I don't talk about Linux phones and now I'm talking about de-Googled phones. Because I can't give you a Linux phone because it's very difficult to buy a Nexus 5 now. I haven't been, you know, I've seen very few Nexus 5s that are affordable. And they're very, very hard to find. So they're no longer a good solution right now. So the only solution really is a de-Googled phone until the Pint phone becomes more stable. The Pint phone is not yet there. So I don't want you to buy it and then not be able to use it daily. So while we're not able to use the Pint phone yet, the de-Googled phone is the only option. So otherwise I would tell you use a Pint phone and a de-Googled phone. But at the moment, I can't even say that yet. But soon, it could be soon. What is your opinion on multi-account containers? Don't do that. I already told you it's in my browser threat test. Okay, you're down with WireGuard. Why do people care if it's WireGuard or not WireGuard? What's the difference? It's a VPN, it's a VPN. You know, what's this fascination with WireGuard? You know, whether it be WireGuard or something else, they're probably all okay. Can we just have a store to buy your hardware VPN from the Pi 4? Just click and buy. Can we just have a store? Yes, you can go to my store and buy the software for your Pi 4 to make your Pi 4 a VPN router. When you say email isn't secure, does that include PGP? Yes. PGP cannot be used in all instances, and the metadata is still there. But at least, yes, PGP will. It's not. There's a video on that, so go watch the video. It's actually not PGP anymore. PGP is the proprietary version. Was a nobody before Rogan. I was a nobody before Rogan. Really? Okay. I actually have, yeah, I had more subscribers or followers on Periscope. I had 30,000 on Periscope. So I'm not even 30,000 on YouTube yet. Do you make de-Google tablets? You can buy a Samsung Galaxy S2, and then I can de-Google that for you. I think that's the only one I can do. Samsung Galaxy S2. If you want a Linux phone, try root. What? Could a botnet be used for good? Yes, botnets could be, but it's illegal. Yes, I think Mcafee uses a botnet, which is an excellent way to hide, but it's illegal because you have to hack people first. You basically hack everyone's routers and then you route your traffic through them. Well, that's illegal, but I'd love to do that, but I can't do it legally. So, what is your favorite voice over IP service device? I'm going to say Signal is good, but you have to reveal a phone number. But yeah, so don't believe what they say about Zoom. Zoom is not encrypted end-to-end. That is not correct. Okay, Zoom is not end-to-end encrypted. That is false. False. So they're giving you, they're basically redefining end-to-end encryption, which to them is from your end to the server end, not from your end to the other person you're talking to. So they say, well, we do end-to-end encryption to our servers. So, and then they confuse people and they say, oh, wow, end-to-end encryption, I can use Zoom. No, they basically are saying you can go to the Zoom servers and then they can watch your videos from the Zoom servers. What is the most interesting project you have in mind for the Pint phone? I don't know. In fact, I was trying to do multiple things, but I'm just getting extremely busy here, just trying to create content here. So it's keeping me from creating new projects because I'm just trying to keep up here. I'm on Raw. I have a kind of a simplified website, whatthezuck.net, that summarizes things, and that's kind of layman's level if you want to look at that. But the videos really get into deep detail. I don't think anything is better than the videos. The videos are so detailed that if you binge watch the videos, you're actually gonna get a lot of information. Is using a virtual machine the easiest way to hide your identity from hackers in government agencies? No, you need to do more than that, but that certainly helps. No, you cannot be your own VPN provider. No. Graphene OS is fine. You know, the Graphene guy, I forget his name, and I, see eye to eye on most things. I would say that we would agree on a lot of things. So philosophically, we do the same things. So the only difference between me and Graphene is that he uses Pixels and I use Motorola's. So beyond that, we accomplish pretty much the same thing. My favorite OS, de-Googled phone. What option would you suggest for internet calling? Signal. That's it. If you're talking about like Viper and all this, I would say avoid that. There's Kalia law that says they can be spied on. Okay, I'm running out of time here. I got a couple minutes. So I'm just my store. Go to brax.me. It's in the description of the video. Is it safe to use an old smartphone? How old and will it still run? If it's 2G, it's not going to work. Let's see. I went to Periscope, by the way, Kelp, and I had one viewer. So there was a bug on Periscope, and that really bugged me. So Chromium's fine. My solution is to use all the browsers. There's a video on that. All browsers. Can Nexus 5X be de-Googled? No. Okay, so really down to let me just down to the last question here. The title of my show is not hilarious. Somebody actually, went to my video and said, I need proof that there's Wi-Fi triangulation. It's like, fuck. If you need proof, you really don't want to believe. So you know, you basically think that you can, you know, that you can survive without being spied on. Okay, I'm out of time here. My question is about playing video games. Is fine. Play your video games. There's nothing. Video games don't get any data from you. Okay. So okay. So while Brian Sawyer is trolling us, it's the end of the video. So Brian can troll all he wants, and it just makes the algorithm like the comments, because the more comments you put in, the algorithm likes it. So please hit that. I know that many of you have not hit the like button, and I would appreciate it if you do. If you like anything that I've talked about, please hit that like button. If not, then hit the dislike button. That's okay as well. So just what algorithm? Thank you, SBs. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Brian Sawyer. But you're actually helping the algorithm. Thank you, SBs. Thank you so much. Okay, so thank you guys, and tomorrow I'm gonna go zucking sailing. You know, I'm sorry if I am not. It's getting to the point that I can no longer respond to every comment, both on YouTube and on Braxme. I mean, the number. Thank you, Brian Sawyer. The number of comments and messages to me are getting to a high extreme. So I would appreciate it if you leave your comments in the group chat so other people can answer for me if I'm not around. Because some people already know the answer, and that would be appreciated if you can do that. And don't feel bad if I'm not able to respond to you in a timely manner, because it's getting to be impossible now. I'm getting, you know, I must spend, you know, 5 hours a day just responding to messages. And so there's not enough time in the day. Okay? So thank you very much for that. And thank you for watching. And I'll see you in a video on Thursday. I'm trying to keep to a schedule here. Videos on Thursdays, live stream on Friday every week. And tomorrow is sailing. I just want to relax. And then, so if I don't respond to you quickly, let me just relax, because there's only so much time in the world here. Good night, guys.